Hello friends, I am Asad Kumar Sahu. Welcome to the last session of role of cooperative movement in value chain development. In this session, we will be discussing about various challenges in the cooperative movement. So let's start our discussion. So before going to the challenges, let us discuss different advantages of cooperative farming. What is cooperative farming? Cooperative farming is a voluntary organization in which the farmers pool their resources. The objective of this organization is to help each other in agriculture for their common interest. This cooperative farming has been tried successfully in various countries like United Kingdom, Germany, France and Sweden. So some of the advantages are consolidation of the small units of the land, then the use of machineries, supply of input, creates love and brotherhood, fair price for the product, and guidance and training. We will be discussing all these advantages one by one. First, consolidation of small units of land. Majority of the farmers keep the small units of the land, so they cannot employ the improved method of cultivation. Cooperative farming enables them to consolidate their small units of land for better utilization. Then comes the use of machinery. Generally, a poor farmer cannot purchase a machinery, but a cooperative society can easily purchase various machines or can get those machines in rent. Then the use of machine will not only reduce the cost of production but also increase the per hectare or the per acre yield. Then supply of inputs. A cooperative farming is in a better position to get an adequate and timely supply of essential agricultural inputs like seeds and fertilizers and the pesticides. Creates loves and brotherhood. A cooperative farming society creates the brotherhood and the love for the members because they work for their common interest. Then the fair price of the product. A cooperative farming society will bargain in the market and will sell the product at the maximum price, as there are large number of farmers involved in this process. The income of the individual farmers will also increase by this. Then guidance and training. A cooperative society guides a farmer to increase their efficiency and production. So now we will be discussing about various causes of the failure of the cooperative farming. First, attachment with land. Now the farmers are not willing to surrender the rights of land in favor of the society because they have too much of attachment with it, and this is the problem of majority of the farmers in our Indian villages. That lack of cooperative spirit. The spirit of cooperation and the love is lacking among the farmers nowadays. They are divided in various sections on the caste basis. There is no unity among them, so they are not ready to become the member of the society. Then illiteracy. It is the major cause of the failure of the cooperative farming. In poor countries, farmers are mostly illiterate and they are not ready to accept any change in the cultivation process. Still, some of them are using the old methods of cultivation. Then, lack of capital. The cooperative farming societies are now facing the capital shortage problem, and they are unable to meet the growing needs of agriculture. Credit facilities of these societies now are also not enough. Then dishonesty. The management of cooperative often turns out to be dishonest in most of the cases. The selfishness of the members makes the cooperative farming societies ineffective. Then the repayment of the debt. Sometimes debt is not repaid in time, which creates many problems for financial institutions. Some members do not realize that their responsibility and it becomes a cause of failure. Despite its rapid growth, the overall cooperative movement during the last 100 years is not very impressive. Several reasons are there beyond this. So some of the reasons of general failure of the cooperative movement in the Indian context are lack of spontaneity. Here the cooperative movement in India lacks spontaneity in the sense that it has been emanated from the people themselves. They usually do not forward to organize cooperatives in their own accord. On the other hand, the ruralities perceive the cooperative societies and banks as government lending agencies. They are interested only in deriving benefits from the societies instead of contributing back to the societies. Then lack of funds. The cooperative have resource constraints as their own fund hardly make a sizable portfolio for the working capital. Then neglecting and demand aspect. Historically, in India, the cooperatives have been viewing the problem of agricultural credit from the viewpoint of the supply. The demand aspect is generally neglected. Then the loans for productive purposes only. The cooperative credit society do not cater to all the credit requirements of the farmers. They grant loans only for agricultural operations. Farmer approach the money lenders to meet their other requirements. This divided allegiance to the cooperative society and many money lenders stand the way of the growth of the cooperative movement because many money lenders offer charges high rate of interest on their money they lend. Then negligence of non-credit aspects. By and large, the primary agricultural cooperative societies are disbursing credits only and have not yet emerged as true multi-purpose institutions undertaking diverse functions besides credit. They only think that the major role or the major activity of a cooperative is to give credit to the farmers. Then there is a regional disparities. There have been good deals of regional disparities pertaining to credit availability. The picture of credit availability in eastern states, tribal and the hilly regions is simply very low. Consequently, the farmers in these regions are also suffered a lot. Then lack of cooperation on the part of the people. In the Indian context, most of the people are in the grip of illiteracy, ignorance and conservative. They do not understand the significance of cooperation in their lives. Absence of willing cooperation on their part hinders the growth of cooperative movement. Horizontal and vertical linkages, though strictly established, have not yet operationally become effective. Then comes the exploitation. In the absence of proper marketing arrangements and functions at the level of primary agricultural cooperative societies, the rural poor falls prey to the mercy of the middlemen who exploit the situation always. Then defective management. The cooperative credit structure is criticized on the ground that is mostly managed by the landlords and the large farmers. Hence, small and medium farmers do not get their fair share. They are often deprived of the assistance from the cooperative society. Then the political interference. Sociologists like Sujata Patel and Daniel Turner hold the view that the political interference act as a major obstacle for the growth of the cooperative movement. The cooperative society have becomes the hotbed of politics in the rural areas. The selection of beneficiaries is mostly done on political consideration. Then non-viable character. It is observed that many agricultural credit societies in India are of non-viable character. It is, it is because dedicated, honest and efficient people do not come forward to join such societies. Factors like red tapeism, undue political interference, and strong hold of large farmers have arrested the growth of cooperative movement. Then there is a lack of coordinations. There has been a lack of coordinations among the institutional agencies at the grassroots level. Defaulters of cooperatives can become borrowers of other agencies. Such double financing and overlapping are found simply because of the lack of coordination. And the problem of overdues. This is the last problem but not the least. The major problem of the cooperative credit is ever rising overdues. The performance on the recovery side has been very minimal. 27 to 50% of the overdues have been reported in respect of the cooperative credit societies. Overdues also exist with respect to central cooperative banks and land development banks. So, so the high level of overdues hinders the process of recycling of credits in many cooperatives in India. So hope now you are clear with all the concepts of role of cooperative movement in the value chain development. Thank you and have a nice day. Happy learning.